Ahoy! Wasn't it Diana Ross who said, I want bubbles? Well, this is what we offer you, the Zlin Film Festival Bubbles. Daily encounter with the most sparkling and most bubbling guests of this year's film festival. And one of those guests is Mara Eibl-Eibesfeldt, director of a film called Thabo and the Rhino Case. And guess what? I think you can tell us what the film is all about.
So the film is a story. It's about a young boy. He's living in South Africa, close to a safari park, and he gets a visitor from Germany. There's a girl from Germany. She's coming to visit her aunt, who's living there as well, and together they go on a safari tour, and led by the uncle of young Thabo, and they find a dead rhino lying in the grass. And next to the dead rhino, there's still the calf, the baby calf of the rhino, and the rhino was murdered because some poachers chopped off the horn of the rhino to sell it. And now the uncle of Thabo is arrested. So the children have to find the real poacher. So it's a bit of a detective story, but it's as well a story just about the nature there, the community there.
Exactly.
So Thabo has some friends, and all together they investigate.
And that's why I think that you just called National Geographic and you said, do you have some nice pictures of elephants and giraffes? And they gave it to you. Is that how it happened?
No, we filmed everything ourselves. So we had of course, we had the main team, and then we had a second unit team as well, who did some recordings of the animals, because you don't have to go there with the whole film team. And we were lucky; we got really nice pictures. And the most difficult thing, or the most exciting thing, was that we had the baby rhino. Because there's a story about how the children
we'll go to that story later.
Get in touch with the baby rhino, and so we had to find a real baby rhino to shoot with, because the producer first said, okay, then we make an animated rhino, and I said, oh, I don't think we have the money to make it well enough, so we have to find a real one. And yes, we found one.
Okay, so we'll stick with the rhino then, because no, we all love the rhino. I mean, he's a very essential part of the movie. How was it? The hens that I'm looking at, they touched a baby rhino?
Yes, of course, yes.
Impressive.
Yes.
How was that? Yes. How was it to work with a baby rhino?
Actually, it was great, because we had to go for the baby rhino to shoot it. It was really an orphaned rhino, so and we had to go.
So you had to kill the mother first?
No, we didn't. Some other people did it for us, unfortunately. So unfortunately, it's a story that's still taking place a lot. That rhinos are killed still a lot in whole Africa for the horn. So in that year there were several cases already, and so there was this one baby rhino from a poached mother that was very, very little when they found it. So she was called Daisy, and Daisy was risen by men with a bottle, so she really loved people. She loved humans, and she was very friendly, very calm. And we did that all in the end of the film. So because we had to shoot everything else on location, and just for the baby rhino, we went to another place because you couldn't transport the baby rhino. Yeah. So we had to go to the orphanage.
You couldn't transport it, so you didn't bring it to the festival?
No,
what?
No,
I was so much expecting
that.
that.
We all wanted to bring her to Germany, but it wasn't possible. Yes.
But when they find the orphaned rhino and they see the corpse of the dead mother, then it's the ranger says like, "Oh, now it's happening to us as well."
Yes.
Which means that it has been all over the country, or maybe all over the continent. How is the situation?
So it's still happening a lot. So in the year when we shot the film, I remember there had been like, I don't know, 16 incidences. So we started in that year. So we started shooting in April, and already from April from January to April, there had already been 16 cases. I think it even got a bit higher after the whole COVID, because when people get poor, South Africa was very hardly hit by COVID, because it always had the new structures and all that. So normally it lives a lot from tourism, but the tourists didn't come. So people didn't have money, and then they start trying to find other jobs. I think that's one. And there are still very many people who want to pay a lot of money for the rhino horn. So these two things. Yeah.
filming in Africa, did it come with extra challenges on a technical level, like sun, sand, things like that? Your cameraman was used to work with this.
I had a camera woman.
Sorry,
so
I
no
should have said
problem.
DOP.
And DOP, she had already shot a lot of commercials in South Africa, so she knew the continent. She knew how to work with people there, and she got some team. We nearly the whole team. The rest of the team was from South Africa, and actually it was quite easy because they really have a very advanced film industry there. So we could get a lot of equipment even from there, and most of the actors are from South Africa, and most of the team. So it was. I liked it. It was very nice. We had a very mixed team from, and it was a very good vibe. So yes.
Yeah, and also the the story of the film. You have the same feeling. It's a very mixed vibe because you come with the strong German children's film tradition.
Yes.
You bring it to a continent where there's a different film tradition. How did you mix and mingle both traditions together?
So I think what was the most one thing that surprised me most when I came to South Africa first, that I always thought we have to find the lodge where we shoot the film first, and then we have the village. Because I had been to Africa, but I had been to Kenya and to Cameroon, and there are always villages. And in South Africa, you don't have these traditional villages because most of the country is just the big farms still. And so then we traveled, and so the original story is set in Eswatini. And there they still have a very rural tradition. And I discovered, okay, so we then found a place that is just on the other side of the border from Eswatini. It's KwaZulu-Natal. And there they still have this more African tradition because the Zulus, they are still an independent, they were always more independent, and they could keep their tradition.
Yeah.
So, and that was important for me, to not make sets, to not build a hut or something that looks like I imagine a hut, but to shoot in a real village, in a real hut. And there's the police station, for example, it's the school of the village, actually. So we worked a lot, not only with team from South Africa, but also with the local people from where we shot. So, and we didn't really build anything. We just took all locations we found. So
yeah, but it was surprising to see the house of Agatha, one of the characters that looks like a, I don't know, German cottage with a nice clock and a TV and everything.
Yes.
As if you transported a piece of Germany to Africa.
No. It's just what we. I mean, this we had to. We put some furniture in because the house it was there, and but we had to. It was empty. So it was, but it was on the lodge, so we just, yeah.
The house was there.
Yeah.
There is this picture that you see the elephants like in the backyard, more or less. Was it like that, or is that constructed?
Actually, yes and no. So it's, you had a view from the terrace. You had a view on a lake, and there were elephants, but not while we were shooting.
Okay.
So we shot the elephants in a little lake somewhere else where we just had them, and then they were posted. So, yes.
Maya, I have one last question for you. You arrived in Zlin yesterday?
Yes.
What's your first impression of the city?
Oh, it's very lively, and of course I heard all about Bata already. So I think
that's where I wanted to. That's where I wanted to get. The city is built on a shoe empire, so that's why everyone in the studio is asked to show your shoes to the camera, like put your feet on the table and tell us what is the story of your shoes.
What is the story of my shoes? Oh, they are very comfortable shoes. They are camper shoes. You can wear them in all weather. And because they are open, but they are closed, and I like to walk in them. It's, yes.
Okay.
You can have them even all year long.
And they're much more expensive than Bata.
Yes. Yes. But you can buy them cheap in the sales. So I know the model.
Okay, that was the kind of information that we wanted to have from you. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for sharing your shoes with us. And thank you for bringing such a lovely, nice film to this festival. I hope you will have some nice screenings here and some nice time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching the Zlin Film Festival Bubbles. It was great to have you here with us, and I hope you will pick up some films in the festival and pick up some of our interviews. Ahoy!